Stirring up trouble. 4. Stola seems quite pleased with herself, but whether she has good or bad news to share remains to be seen. Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light. Much to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire and was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. The time of strife and unceasing war with neighboring nations. With each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. In their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. You think this ancient petition will somehow get us into Ixmaja? Indeed we do. Etched into this tablet is a method by which one may prove himself an ally of the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are able to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the ruins' protectors to grant us safe passage. The problem, however, is I presently lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. We have but one recourse. There exists a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan text and translations into a more modern dialect which came into use after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. It was like a Rosetta Stone. Where can we find this monument? Here in Scythia, quite close to the Slitherbow, in fact. The good news ends there, however, for it is in the possession of a rather radical faction of dark worshippers, the Children of the Everlasting Dark. If I am to study the monument, I must infiltrate their encampment. I have no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nevertheless require time to transcribe the text I need. To ensure that I will have enough, I am afraid I must ask you and Thancred to assist me. Before you even ask, the answer is no. If we're to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. Alright, I'll stay here until you return. It won't be long. If anything should happen, you keep her safe. Then let us convene outside to the west of Slitherbow, where the path diverges. Everlasting. I mean, I guess every religion's got its, like, weird radical action. The encampment we seek is to the north, but it would be foolish to simply rush in. Guard has been posted at Cleric to keep watch over the children. Perhaps he has aught to share of their recent activity. But we must tread carefully. There is a chance we may encounter them along the way. Stay close and stay alert. I would avoid confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that in doing so they cleanse their victims of sin and usher them unto the sunless sea. I would rather not sully my hands defending myself against such madmen. Let's see. In. By the blessed dark. Thank goodness you are unharmed. You would have arrived sooner, but we too had a rather unwelcome visit from the children. You are an acquaintance of Master Matoya, then. My apologies. Children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look. I was careless. Strange, what have you seen? First, there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary, the usual gathering of ingredients for poisons from flora and fauna. But then I took notice of their venomous spiders. They've been breeding them in much greater numbers. It's as if they're preparing for something. Any ideas as to what? Could be anything, really. If it meant the end of the blessed, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. But perhaps we can use their present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nest where they keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Set them loose on the nest and we would have our opportunity to sneak into their encampment. What a mischievous plan. I like it. With a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure their hives. You anything we might be able to use? We should have smoke bombs at the outpost just over there. Then it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search about for beehives. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they're knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. The bees! Bees! I have to fight. Warrior of Light, Slayer of Primals, Savior of Worlds, Slayer of Dia. Got the bees. Guard returned to Slitherbow, but not before offering his thanks. As for the beehives, Thancred and I were successful in acquiring what we need. How did you fare? This is more than enough. The children are certain to be displeased. Let us hurry before the bees begin to stir. Stirring up trouble. Come. Beautiful plan. Ishtola is ready to move. Children's settlement is to the west, a place they call Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance which leads to the spider's nest. Fates are kind, the way will be clear. Go. Kill some spiders. Up there is the airway. Do you see it? A bit far, perhaps, but we should be able to toss the bag through. Though we should probably loosen the ropes, keeping it closed, enough that it falls open when it lands inside. May I do the honors? A sack of bees. That should do it. Now we wait. What is that? Bees by the abyss. They're everywhere. Help, someone help. We have to save the spiders. Sounds like our plan is working. Still, it is quite likely not all were drawn away from their post. If you should come to blows with the children, I'll see to it any signs of struggle are concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy Stola more time. If anyone get past me, it falls to you to guard her. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Come now, Thancred. The shadows are a fitting place for a warrior of darkness. Now, if you both are ready... The way? Where's the north? We're gonna get there from... Exactly so. Supposed to be that guarded? Try the other one. I don't mind killing them. I thought the whole point was that we wouldn't have to kill a bunch of them. That is the only way to go. There's no way up there. I think it might be a way out. where we threw the bees in. I have to kill these guys. I don't mind. I thought the mission was supposed to be stealthy, right? How many follow us? Probably. Even he turned around. Like that. Oh, well, they just came into where we live and we like killing people and strangers and whatnot. But, you know, he also kind of ran far. Like way on the other side of the room. What am I supposed to do? The font of seeing suggests this is a chamber for prayer. At the very least, they would not place this near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps the monument is further in. Yes, this is it. I will be but a moment. Keep watch of the entryway. Second thought, would you mind examining the murals on these walls while I look over this? At a glance, I can tell they are old, predating the founding of the blessed and the children, in fact. We're not like to come here a second time. 'Twould behoove us to learn all that we can. Examine the murals and take note of what events they may depict. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a mural and examine it with right trigger A. Okay, that looks like people worshipping something. The mural appears to be very old. A ruler sits atop a throne attended by their subjects. The mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself and their comrades from an encroaching darkness. The central figure is considerably faded. The mural appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures surround the warrior, rejoicing in their victory.
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history. The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronka, and this. There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces. He offered us work when we needed it. Slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was. But he had a good heart. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends. A tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era. The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronka, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned, commemorating the heroes of their day. "One day you will all be here too," he said. "Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself." I had a good laugh at that. We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder.
Yeah, they did say they, like, he did, like, the Shadow King or what, right?
Rather faded, isn't it, compared to the others? Or did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some other kind of monument?
There you are. I have everything I need. Let us quit this place. Is something the matter? We should go. The others are waiting.
I believe I now have everything needed to finish deciphering the tablet. Tell me, Zilly, did the murals appear to be of any significance? Depictions of heroes from the Age of Gods, the Ronkan Empire, and immediately before the Flood. Very astute observations. Perhaps in another lifetime you could be a curator of antiquities. Though it has no bearing on the task at hand, perhaps that knowledge may prove to be of use in the future. Beautiful plan. Alright, shall we? Level 74, an unwanted proposal. Stola thirst for knowledge sated. She seems content to return to Slitherbow. Let's hurry to Slitherbow. The others are waiting. After we've returned, the two of you should rest a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample his cooking. As soon as I discover anything of import, you will be the first to know. You gonna make us go get ingredients and stuff too? Oh boy. Zilly, the guard told me you left with Master Matoya to Woven Oath. No sooner do you return than she locks herself away in her chambers without so much as a word. She knows how I worry when she leaves without telling me, but she is safe and that is all that matters. You must be hungry after such a journey. Why not have a seat there by this fire? The stew will soon be ready. Sit by the fire.
Strange. The others on patrol should have returned by now. Our food will be overcooked if we wait any longer. We will just have to start without them. Would you call Master Matoya and the others?
I I tire of these games, Urianger. Why do you pretend you cannot see it? The blessing may spare her the fate of becoming a Light Warden. But you cannot be blind to the nascent corruption. She is not as she was in the Source.
Figured something might be going.
Though I have no proof, I fear that the light which poured forth from the Wardens was not negated at all. I fear it was absorbed, that she has been suffused with their light.
Though I have given thought to this possibility, I dare not speak until more is known.
By the time you deign to enlighten us, it may be too late, if it is not already.
I think she's worried about me.
Urianger, I know full well, after all these years, that you have only the best of intentions. But that does not make it any easier to put my faith in a man so infatuated with secrecy. I have had my suspicions ever since the Exarch bade you speak that day. But now I must ask. The 8th Umbral Calamity and all that followed. Everything you claim to have seen. Did you?
Help! Someone help! The Ilmorans have come for us! We're under attack!
Yulmore is here. Meanwhile, in Yulmore.
Lord Vorthry, how good it is to see you. How long has it been? Not since your inauguration, unless I'm mistaken. Too long, at any rate. May I say, how humbled I am to be invited not only into your city, but your home. You are as generous as ever.
Odd that the Ascians don't seem to know anything about him either.
And you as disingenuous. Let us dispense with the pleasantries. This merry band of dissidents people are calling Warriors of Darkness, they have slain Sin-Eaters, and by all accounts the Crystarium is complicit in their villainy. And now I hear reports of your people obstructing my soldiers, so I must ask, what exactly do you think you are doing?
I might ask you the same thing. It should be clear, even to you, that defeating the Light Wardens represents the world's only hope of survival. Even now, the people of Lakeland and Ilmeg rejoice in the return of night. For 100 years, they yearned for a means to fight back against the Sin-Eaters, and at last they have found one. Yet you choose to stand idly by and do nothing. Why?
Why? Because this hope you cling to is nothing more than a fever dream, an exercise in futility. Even should you slay the Sin-Eaters, the world as we know it is beyond salvation. With what little land and resources remain, the people would be free only to starve. Before long, they would turn to violence, then to war, and ultimately usher themselves unto oblivion. They require a firm hand, to shepherd them from the edge. The hand of a king. Nay, a god.
He's a little full of himself, more ways than one.
I will see their dreams fulfilled, their wishes granted. I will give them peace, order, and they shall never want for bliss. Men are fickle creatures who entertain vague ideals without the faintest notion what they cost. But a little fear can go a long way towards helping them realize what it is they truly need. Sanctuary. And they shall find none in this world save that which I afford them. That is why the Sin Eaters exist. To unite the world under my dominion.
A paradise fit to grace the 8th Umbral era.
What was that?
A minor epiphany, nothing more. You have always held sway over those around you. Those who defy you must submit or die. What sits before me is the inevitable result of bloated privilege and unchecked power. But man is more resilient than you think. His achievements are not the product of violence and bloodshed, but compassion and understanding. This calamity is but another crisis to be overcome. And we will, once we eliminate the Sin Eaters.
You poor deluded fool. These people care not for the morrow. They care only for the now, and the contentment they lack. What good is a paradise to them if it is 1,000 years in the making, or even 100?
You underestimate them, Lord Vorthri. They see further than you think. I have beheld it in the blood and sweat and tears of those who would sacrifice everything for a future they may never know, that their children may never know. I have beheld it in the hopes and dreams of those who came before, which we bequeath to those who come after, that they might in turn build upon the foundations laid by our forebears. These are the bonds which hold man and his world together, not your gilded chains. And I will resist your every effort to shackle him.
Tell him, strange man.
In summary, you will continue to support the villains hunting my Sin Eaters?
He doesn't have control over all of them, just like those in that area.
With tremendous enthusiasm, for I have faith in the future they would build.
Why do I even bother? Fools, the lot of you! So naive! So painfully predictable! Did you imagine I did not know your mind? That I would wait until after this meeting to dispatch my forces? Even as we speak, they march to the Sin Eaters' defense. Insurrection will not be tolerated! The people of this world are mine to rule, mine to command!
You can ask.
And you are no exception!
Doesn't matter. He can ask.
How did he?
Could ask that.
Insolent swine! I will not stand for this! Do you hear me?
Because all the ones we met were bad, doesn't it? They're all bad, right? Or like they might have a next part.
You speak for the Knights Blessed?
I do. I presume that is your doing. If you have come to parley, I must insist that you first return him to us.
You're in no position to make demands. By Lord Vorthry's decree, Raktika now falls under the governance of Yulmore. You will henceforth answer to us.
Is that so? And the children of the Everlasting Dark have acquiesced to this madness?
We have reached an accord, yes. Too many times have the Knights Blessed shunned Yulmore's overtures of friendship. The risk that you harbor hostile intentions has grown too great to ignore. Therefore, his lordship has claimed dominion over this forest and bestowed executive authority upon the children of the Everlasting Dark.
In his wisdom, Lord Vorthry has agreed to recognize ours as the only permissible expression of dark worship. It's one true faith.
Stupid.
You and your false creed are a blight on these woods. A foul, unholy corruption that must be cleansed. Little wonder the Warrior of Darkness visits both Lakeland and Ilmeg, yet shuns Raktika. Your perverted teachings hold blessed Shadow at bay.
You have accepted the yoke of Yulmore to spite us, then? Fools. Darkness will never return to these skies while they hold sway.
Those of you minded to obey his lordship are to make for Woven Oath with all haste. We will leave you, that you may have time to prepare.
Woven Oath? Are you suggesting we abandon our fate to join those zealots?
What has your faith afforded you thus far? Nothing! We will guide you along the righteous path.
And should we refuse?
Anyone found here upon our return will be considered a traitor to Yulmore, and dealt with as such.
Make their move.
We will discuss these developments after I have tended to our casualty.
Every planet we go to, zealots. Guard hath been afflicted with the most terrible and efficacious poison. We have attempted all manner of healing incantations. Alas, his condition remains unchanged. At present, we can but slow the poison's advance. I pray it will afford us sufficient time to find a cure. Unwanted proposal. 74. Put to the proof. Urianger wears a somber expression. How fareth the young guard? The poison spread throughout his system long before he was brought here. At present there is naught we can do but try to ease his pain. Do not blame yourselves, my friends. All that can be done has been done. Even had we reached him sooner, it would have made little difference. Children employ countless poisons. Finding a suitable antidote is nigh impossible. What of the rest of the blessed? How have they taken the news of Yulmore's generous proposition? With anger and dismay, we cannot hope to oppose both them and the children. I considered a convocation of all the Knights Blessed that we might consider their ultimatum, but I know how they will answer. Master Matoya, I am truly sorry. We will not, cannot abandon our faith. But there is no reason for you to suffer for our decision. Your work is not yet done. You still have time to flee. Flee? I am not wont to run from my troubles. In fact, with Zilly's arrival, I am minded to take the offensive. Yulmoren's presence here plainly stems from a desire to protect the Light Warden. I say we seek it out and slay the creature before they return. Were darkness to fall over Raktika, they would have no cause to remain. All of which is rather easier said than done, unless, of course, you finally deciphered that tablet. I have, as a matter of fact, and with it we can prepare everything we need to enter Ixmajar. What say you all? We will need to act quickly, but I believe it can be done. We cannot deny our fate, but one course lieth before us. We slay the Light Warden, for the Knights Blessed. Well, we are villains, are we not? Good, I leave the blessed in your capable hands, Runar. Very well. I see there is no changing your mind. By all that is dark, I swear to keep the blessed safe. They could have come up with like at least an evacuation plan, right? Just in case. According to the tablet, we will first need to obtain a seal used to identify the allies of Ronka in times past. Once that shield should be waiting for us in a complex of underwater ruins not far from here. You have some experience with subaquatic excursions, do you not? And this should prove a simple task for you. The ruins we seek are at the bottom of Lake Tusi-Mekta. While you see to that, Minfilia and I will remain here to help shore up Slitherbo's defenses. Your aid would be greatly appreciated. Okay. Where is she? Yes. There you are, ready for a swim? The steel we seek should be stored in a chamber somewhere inside the ruins beneath the lake. However, the entrance is seemingly protected by a subtle locking mechanism, rooted in the symbolism of Ronkan culture. The Ronkans sought to live in harmony with nature and considered certain animals to be sacred. Foremost in their pantheon was the snake, portrayed as the protector of the wood and arbiter of life and death. Below it were 4 others, each equal in rank: the curl, the colibri, the apo-apo, and the wolf. Characterized as the bringers of liberty, words, enlightenment, and harmony, respectively. To open the chamber containing the seal, the tablet states that one must pay due deference to 3 of these beasts by placing one's palm on monuments wrought in their image, and that this must be done in a specific sequence. If my interpretation is correct, the order can be discerned from the 3 commandments which follow. Give praise unto the snake, by its strength do our lands prosper. Be as the Apo Apo, rival thy kin. As all parts seek betterment, so too does the whole. Be as the wolf, move as one. Peace comes to all who seek harmony with their kin. The tablet says naught of the placement, size, or appearance of the monuments, alas. Hopefully all will become clear when you reach the bottom of the lake. Go safely. Okay. Puzzle. E. Level, we'll switch jobs soon. It. Probably a cave or something. Covered halls of Dwathel. Find a statue of a snake. Place your palm on the snake statue. And something stir elsewhere in the lake. Have to do. Find a statue of a curl. I thought it'd be Apo Apo net. Find magic emanating from the mouth. One. Okay, so yeah. First. Find a statue of an Apo Apo. I didn't realize they'd be right next to it. Then something stir elsewhere in the lake. I didn't realize there were 2 here. We weren't supposed to do the curl, we were supposed to do a wolf. They won't make us do them all over again. Assumed if I hit it, it would look poisoned us a little. Here, okay. Follows of Dwathel. Oof. Find a statue of a wolf. Once more, you sense something stir elsewhere in the lake. Perhaps the chamber containing the seal is open. down. Out of it. Maybe. Okay, that's where. Map's not exactly helpful. I think we're gonna have to surface and probably go to that. I think that little thing north on the probably have to go. Give that a big 3, all right. Thought maybe. Shallow. Where we're going? Area, certain. Or down it. Okay, it opened up. Same one where we started. Okay. Feel dumb. Got it eventually. Door opens to reveal a pedestal upon which rests a medallion. You take it and secure it inside your clothing. Did you find it? Medallion. Bears the owl insignia of the Empire. There can be no doubt this is the seal of Ronk. Well done. We can begin our preparations to enter Ixmajah in earnest. Level 74. Put to the proof.